Hey guys, Scott here. So the other day I made the mistake of reading YouTube comments. So we're already off to a bad start. It was on the video I made about the whole co-op mod for PC, and the whole point of the video was how I, as someone that's been PvPing in these games for 10 years, was sympathetic towards people that do play on PC. I play on PS5, so it doesn't even affect me. It was just me offering sympathy to people that like invasions, because I was saying it's going to be much harder to actually invade people once people download this mod. Even if, 5 people download it, that still means it's harder to invade now. So no matter what, it's still going to negatively affect that side of the whole player base. And I was just offering my sympathies to them, despite the fact, again, the mod looks very cool, and I'm probably going to try it myself. But that was it. That was the whole point of the video. Again, it doesn't affect me. It's just offering my sympathies to that group of people. But for some reason, it attracted the most vitriolic PvEers and co-opers I've seen in my life. And I don't know why the hell people are so angry about even just having the opinion of, oh, I feel bad for people that want to do this part of the game that can't play it anymore. And I know you can also twist that to the whole co-op experience, but when you get invaded, you're still able to co-op. You can still do it. Sure, it can be annoying as shit, especially if you get an asshole that's like twinking or something like that, but you can still do it. If people have this mod and there's just no one left to invade anymore, you just can't do it at all. So that was the whole point of the video. But regardless, I want to go over some of the comments in that. And I noticed something very in common with all these comments, and I want to make a comparison to something else that if you've watched me in the past, perhaps you will be able to figure out where this is going. But let's just read some of these comments, and I'll address them and see if you can notice the pattern with people that, again, the whole video was just about how I feel bad for PC players that like to invade, and that's it. That's the whole point of the video. First off, though, we have what a whiny and entitled take for feeling bad for other people. Next, you are defend an incel whining that their crush is having sex with somebody else. If people want to play with their friends and not play with you, then tough shit. The authenticity of the experience does not matter. What you want as an invader does not matter. Some people are being kept out of co-op because they don't want to deal with invasions on top of the other bullshit in Elden Ring online play. Who's to say that you are having opponents to invade outweighs the less experienced players wanting to play the game their way in their corner? Well, the developers of the game said that. That's why that's why it works like that. FromSoft says that. So I don't know how to have a more concrete response to that, because that is why co-op is linked to PvP, because it's apparently meant as some type of like counterbalance to the fact that when you co-op, even if you're just doing it to play with your friends, it makes the game easier. So invaders are a nuisance that becomes an additional obstacle. That's what they were going for. One can assume anyway, because they keep doing that type of thing. But who's to say that? The creators of the game are the ones to say that. So I think that's a pretty good authority figure in this topic. But that one was not even as personal despite the whole first part. And one of the main things I've noticed is people just make these assumptions about the people that they're going against. Like super, again, vitriolic assumptions for no reason. Here's another one. And even then, nothing about this mod means people can't PvP. It just means the only people who will be doing PvP are the ones who actually want to be doing it. If you want invasion PvP while exploring levels rather than duels, just open yourself up as you play through the levels. I've noticed a lot of people don't really understand how invasions work, because they keep saying this. If you just want to do invasions, why don't we just make it so only people that want to be invaded get invasions? It's not an invasion then. That's just a duel. And you can already do that, but duels get boring because it's just the same environment and the same weapons. You can see what they're doing. Doesn't have the environmental factor to it. Doesn't have, other NPC enemies. It's not the same experience. But you're just asking people to duel instead of invade. Which, it is a form of PvP, but it's not the main draw of the PvP in these games. So I don't think that's really a solution. You can't just have it so invasions are opt-in, because then they're not invasions. They're agreed upon duels. It's a completely separate thing, and invasions are what made PvP in these games so unique. Again, very annoying to a lot of people, completely understand that, but that is what they're meant to be. They're not meant to be agreed upon duels or anything like that. But if you want invasions PvP while exploring levels rather than duels, also I think people don't realize that like once you beat bosses to make your build, you can't be invaded in that area anymore. So it's not like when you create a PvP build, you can just be invaded again. Your build is likely done because you've beat the game and you've gotten the souls to get that build and you've gotten all the items for. The only people you can invade are people that are still naturally going through the game. So it doesn't even make sense. But anyway, invade others when you can, let others invade you when you can. Again, if you finish your build, that doesn't really work like that. Will it take longer to find matches? Yeah. That's the problem. On PC, it's so slow now to the point that I just gave up and went to PlayStation. So that is not an insignificant issue. But that's the price you pay for no longer being able to accidentally ruin someone else's day while also no longer having to worry about gang swans or AFKers. And again, that's that sentiment that so many people share. Being able to accidentally ruin someone else's day. Just remember that for the future. Ruin someone else's day. So, I did not buy this game to babysit the try-hard neckbeards who have no friends. I brought it for a challenging RPG adventure in a unique masochistic style genre that most games don't provide. The fact that I can now play seamlessly with my friends without having to deal with tryhards is awesome. Buy neckbeard tryhards, you did it to yourself by ruining so many others' experience. Again, similar sentiment. This one, your lesser of two evils calculus is flawed. The inherent problem with invasions is that they are largely imposed on a party who might not want that as a part of the experience. For some individuals, they're fine with it. Clearly, for most people, being invaded subtracts from the experience. And I don't personally weigh the interest of those who are deliberately looking to detract from the enjoyment of the game from other people particularly highly. Here's another one. If you can't enjoy the game without invading people, then go play some Battle Royale game, or Sea of Thieves, or kick kids on the street to get your fix. Don't whine about other people essentially going in offline mode and equate it to how bad constant mandatory invasions would be. Maybe even get a hobby that doesn't center around making other people unhappy. So, if you're noticing the pattern here, it's that people just assume the absolute worst about the person that's going against them. They just assume that the invader is a sweaty, try-hard, friendless, incel, virgin, neckbeard, and their whole objective is just to ruin your day. That's the whole thing. And they actually use the words, ruin my game, ruin my day. For someone that kills you, you respawn, pick up your souls in 2 minutes, and keep going. Like, it's not that serious if you die to someone in PvP. But that's not even the topic I'm trying to go about here. The thing I want to address is why people assume that people who are PvPing are just there to be sadists. Like, you have to be crazy to think that the majority of the population that play video games are psychotic sadists. That doesn't make any sense. The reason people play video games is to have fun. That's the only reason to play video games. Maybe as a form of escapism, or unless you're a professional player of some type of esport, then obviously you can play it for that. But I'd say for 99.9% of people, the reason you play video games is to engage in something and have fun. That's the whole point. So to assume that people that are invading are just there to just be psychos and just ruin your day, and that's all I care about, just fuck this guy I'm invading, I have to make him have a bad day, I'm gonna ruin his life by hitting him with rivers of blood. Like, it's just not that serious, first off. And second of all, why are you assuming that? And don't get me wrong, this goes both ways, by the way. Invaders that invade into this, into a 3v1 with two overleveled passworded phantoms that are clearly the host's friends, they will say the same shit when they get killed by them. They'll say, oh, the only reason that this host is playing with his friends is because he sucks ass at the game. He's not a true Elden Ring gamer. He can only beat it with the help of his friends and his overleveled phantoms. And so I'm not pretending that the other side doesn't do this too. This is a very two-sided issue here. If you've made it this far without already angrily typing in the comments, I hope you've gotten this far before you've begun typing stuff. I'm sure that won't stop people, but both sides do this. This is very much a both side issue. And I don't understand why people do this. Why do you assume the absolute worst about the other person? I guarantee you, with no proof in front of me whatsoever, that the other person that is your adversary in any way is just trying to have fun. That's all they're trying to do. That's their only concern. And that's going to be the case the vast majority of the time, until you do get a psycho serial killer sadist, which I'm sure they do exist. But the vast majority of people are just trying to have fun in their own way. That goes for people co-oping, and that just goes for people invading. They're just trying to have fun. Invaders, when you invade into someone that has a bunch of overlevel phantoms, it's not necessarily that they need them to win, and they don't need them to beat the game. Some people just like playing games with their friends. In fact, most people just like playing games with their friends. And as I was saying this, I started thinking, and here's the actual point of the title of the video, I was thinking, oh my god, this is just the Dead by Daylight community. It is the exact same thing. Just change killer for invader and change co-op with survive with friends, and it's the exact same argument. If you're not aware, Dead by Daylight is the other game that I play, and the community has the exact same issue where every killer assumes that people that play with their friends are just the only reason they're doing that is because they are terrible at the game and they need their friends to carry them, and that's the only reason that they're doing it. And then people that play killer are friendless neckbeard virgins. That's why they're not playing with their friends. And this has been going on since the game came out. They've been at each other's throats nonstop. It has never stopped. And as I was thinking about this in Elden Ring, I was just going, oh my God, this is the exact same problem. And Elden Ring and Dead by Daylight have basically nothing in common, which leads me to believe this is more just society in general is getting more ridiculous about this. I don't think this has anything to do with the games. It's just people just in games now are assuming in general that the people that they're going against are out to ruin their day. At the very worst, people are selfish in their pursuit of fun. That is something I'll agree with. People might say, I just want to have fun. If it makes you have less fun, that sucks. It's not my primary goal. I'm not trying to make you upset, but I value my fun over your fun, which is a perfectly reasonable, trait to have. You shouldn't be only prioritizing other people's fun. You should be able to try to have fun yourself too. But all these people that are just at each other's throats, assuming the absolute worst, they're try-hard, neckbeard, incel virgins, and they suck at the game. That's the only reason they're not true Elden Ring gamers, because they have to play with people that carry them through. Everyone that's doing this, shut the fuck up. Just stop. People are just trying to have fun in their own way. There's no evil intent behind this. People are not sadists for the absolute vast majority. They're just trying to have fun in their own way, and that's it. I just had to address that. It made me think of DBD because it's the exact same problem. I don't know why people are starting to do this. I don't know if it's because entitlement in general has grown. I think it has, but that's a whole separate topic. But seriously, you guys need to chill out. It's a video game. People are just trying to have fun. It's not that serious. They're not trying to ruin your life. They're not trying to ruin your day. Just calm down. It's a video game. Thank you.